Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and we're going inside the war room with the Minnesota Vikings. We're going to take a look at their team needs to see what players could be possible targets to fill those needs. But first, let's take a look at the upcoming selections the Vikings have in this year's draft.
The Vikings made the playoffs last season, and despite making the playoffs, this is a team that still has a lot of needs. But the great thing about it, they have a lot of selections, so they have a great chance to rectify their issues in the draft. They do need help at the receiver position as well as the linebacker, in particular the middle linebacker. Defensive tackle is also a need, and they need depth at the cornerback position and the offensive line. So let's take a look at my 7-round mock draft. Starting in the first round, where they have 2 selections, and number 1, they have to go with Keenan Allen out of Cal. This guy reminds me a lot of Brandon Marshall. Athletic, can make the tough catches, and can also break tackles. I love the way he plays the game. So that's one first-round selection, and that way they can use the 25th pick on Manti Te'o out of Notre Dame. They need help in the middle of their defense at middle linebacker. Now you have Manti Te'o, Chad Greenway, and also Aaron Henderson. I think that's a great and formidable front 7 with their defensive line in front of these guys, helping out those linebackers. I have the Vikings getting a steal in the second round with Cornelius Carradine out of Florida State. Before the injury, this guy was graded as a late first-round pick, so they get him in the second round to help bolster that pass rush on third downs. They also continue to go defensive line and get help on the interior. John Jenkins out of Georgia should do a great job as the under tackle, helping free up opportunities for Kevin Williams and opening up more one-on-one opportunities for those edge rushers on the outside. With 2 selections in the 4th round, I have the Vikings taking quarterback Tyler Bray out of Tennessee. I think this guy can legitimately push Christian Ponder for the starter position. If he checks out off the field, on the field, he checks out very well. I love his arm. I love the way he has the confidence. I think he can be an excellent quarterback at the next level. I also have them taking Trevardo Williams out of UConn. This guy may not even be here at this point in the draft. He may go higher, but in my mock draft, the Vikings get lucky with another guy that can definitely rush the passer from the outside linebacker position. Also does a great job in coverage. Adding depth in the backfield is key, and also adding a kickoff and punt returner is key. So that's why Ray Graham does a great job of fitting into this Vikings offense. Also, when you put him in the backfield, he definitely has the wiggle to make 1 miss, make 2 miss, and definitely can take it the distance. I'm a big fan of Travis Johnson out of San Jose State. This guy played defensive end in college and in the postseason, and in spurts throughout the course of the season, lined up as an outside linebacker and performed well. So again, just bolstering the depth at the outside linebacker position is something that the Vikings sorely need. The Vikings have 3 selections in the 7th round and has 3 opportunities to get better. Josh Johnson is a solid player. I saw him live at the East-West Shrine game, did a great job all week in competing. I like that fit in that defense. And also Travis Brown, another productive player out west coming out of Fresno State. This guy was an impact player for the Bulldogs on that defense. And I also have them taking Aaron Millette, wide receiver out of Elon. He's another guy that may even go higher in the draft, looking at the 3rd or 4th round. But right now in my mock draft, I have them landing a guy in Aaron Millette that was very productive for the Elon Phoenix. So let's recap what the Vikings were able to round up in my 7-round mock draft. I believe this is a draft that can get them back into the playoffs. You look at the field holes that they have with the picks that they made. Allen, Te'o, Carradine, also Brake, in my opinion, is better than what they already have on the roster in both Castle and Christian Ponder. So I think the Vikings can get better with these selections that I have them making. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Vikings fan forums for always showing football game plan support.